so as to win those not having all. To the weak I became weak, to win the weak. I have become all things to all men, so that I, by gospel means, I may save some. I do all this for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in its blessings. May the Lord add his blessing to the reading and hearing of his holy word.
If you were here last week, maybe you remember what I preached on. I preached on giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I don't know about you, but that certainly did not make for an easy week for me. You know what I mean? See, you don't realize how many times your mind assumes the worst about people around you until you've been challenged to change that pattern of thinking. One of the examples that I shared with you guys last week was that if there was a car that was riding your bumper, then you have no idea what's going on in their life. They may have just received word that their loved one was taken to the hospital, and that's why they're trying to get someone fast. Does that always happen? No. Could it happen? Absolutely. So since you have no idea what's going on in others' lives, but can feel safe under the assumption that their life is hard, just like your life is hard, we can offer people the benefit of the doubt. And last week, I can't even begin to tell you how many people drove slowly in front of me and very quickly behind me. It actually got humorous by the end of the week. And every time I had to remind myself, okay, there could be a good reason for this taking place again today. But I'm pretty sure that the good reason was because an angel in heaven watched when I left the house. And they were like, God, he's leaving again. He's leaving again. And God was like, okay, you watch this, guys. Boom! I just put Ethel in front of him. 30 miles an hour, that's your max. Wait, do you see this? This is going to be great. That's what happened every time this week. But I was able to praise God for that too, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but God has a great sense of humor. I mean, if you don't know that, just look around this church. You have reasons to laugh because of His creation. He's got such a great sense of humor. But it also made me realize I got to be more careful in what I preach. I mean, I should be like Joel Osteen and just preach about how rich we'll be by the end of the week, so that maybe something good like that could possibly happen instead of continuing to challenge us. So I was very careful this week in what I was going to preach, because I thought if I follow this up with a sermon on patience, I'm just done. I'm not even leaving the house on this week. So I knew what I didn't want to preach on. I wasn't sure what I wanted to preach on, and then God spoke to me this week. Man, I knew immediately what I was meant to talk about. And I thank God that you are here this morning, because not only did He want me to preach it, but He wanted you to hear it. Or maybe if you're watching it online, He wanted you to be able to listen to this service. So if you can, stay awake, open your ears, open your mind, and let the Spirit speak to you. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for your Holy Spirit, and that He is able to deliver your truths to us. So we ask for that exact thing right at this moment in time, God. Help us to hear your words and apply them to our lives. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. I don't know about you, but I have a couple of special scriptures to me. Scriptures that mean something to me. Some of them that I try to kind of live my life with, like Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. I love that scripture for a long time. And that's when it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. And it's so great when you can fall back on it. And we heard a story about trusting in God and seeing some great things come out of it. And it doesn't mean that everything's going to work out perfectly, but it does mean that you know how He's gotten you through stuff before, so you know that He can get you through whatever you're going through now. Another one that I love, I think you might be surprised by this one, but it's Luke 10:27. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. You ever heard me talk about that? I'm not sure. No? That is by far one of my favorites. And then there's today's section of Scripture, which is actually, it's not just one verse for this one. It's really a motto that I do honestly try to live by. This is my motto of living, and I wanted to share it with you today. And we look at Paul, and we see that Paul is talking. He's writing a letter to the church in Corinth. And in this letter, one of the things that he's addressing is the fact that he desires to share Jesus with everybody. He just wants them to know about Jesus and his love. In order to do this, he says, here's what he says he has done. I have made myself a slave to everyone, to win as many as possible. And what he's trying to get us to understand is he's saying that nobody wants to listen to somebody sitting up on high horse, telling them what they're supposed to do, towering over them. No, nobody listens to that guy. Who do they listen to? They listen to the person that's standing next to them. They listen to the person who's down in the trenches with them when they're going through whatever they go through. They want to listen to somebody that they can relate to. A person who's not just willing to preach at them, but to talk to them. That's what they're looking for, and that's what Paul is saying he's doing. I make myself a slave to everyone so that I can tell about Jesus, so that I can win the gospel for some. And here's the key verse. If you're looking for a key verse, if you want something to highlight in your Bibles, this is the one to highlight. 22b, so the second half, verse 22. I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some. And that's a lot in that sentence. So listen again. I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some. I do this all for the sake of the gospel, that I might share in its blessings. You see, Paul searched for it and purposefully found things in common with those that he desired to share the gospel with. That's what he did. I become all things to all people. I made sure that I was relatable to these people so that I might be able to share the gospel with them. But this is honestly a strange concept for us, something that we can't just easily fall into. Paul put an effort into establishing relationships with people who were different so that he could tell them about Jesus. And why is that odd? Well, that's odd because as a society in the United States, we don't put effort into that anymore. We do not put effort into having relationships with people who are different. That is not something that even shows up on our list of things to do. Because instead, in our society currently, right now, if you are different from me, then guess what? I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's the truth. And that's today's motto. That is the motto that we live by. I will only deal with the person in my small group who agrees with everything that I say. And if you're on the outside of that, I don't care about you. I don't need to have you in my life. And you don't blame me. Seriously, watch the news. Pick the station that you want to watch based upon your own political affiliation. And then you get to see story upon story about what? How dumb the other side is. That's what all the stories are going to be about, how dumb they are for doing the things and thinking the things that they do. Go to Heinz Field, okay? Go to Heinz Field and dress yourself in the top in a Patriots jersey and then in a Baltimore Ravens pants. Not only will you have a horrible outfit on, but in addition to that, how many people are going to stand around and listen to you talk about the positives of your favorite teams? Is that going to take place? No, you're going to smell like beer when you leave. Somebody's going to toss it on you from a couple rows up. That's what's going to happen. And it happens everywhere. I mean, ask your high school science teacher if they're planning on teaching about the theory of divine creation along with the theory of Darwinian evolution. You think they're going to be like, oh yeah, absolutely, that's on my schedule to do things. No, absolutely not. And if you put the other answers on a test, they're going to mark them as wrong because they will not accept the thoughts, theories, ideas of somebody else. So the place that you can go to is a pastor's largest and most favorite target. What target is that? Facebook. That is not guaranteed. Like you go to any church around here and there's a pastor that is talking about Facebook because that is an easy thing for us to talk about. But the great thing about Facebook is if you look through the post and read through the post, it keys you in on where society is mentally, where they are at. Facebook, when it first came out, was a way for people to keep in touch. People you haven't talked to in years, people that have no idea what's going on in their life, that you like to see pictures of their kids, updates for people across the nation. That's what it was for. But Facebook has since turned into a firing squad. That's what it is now. It's not just a kind way to keep in touch. It's a place for you to shoot at the other side. It reminds me of my kids on their bad days. You see, my kids on their good days, they are awesome, they are amazing, they are kind, they are caring, they are compassionate. But on their bad days, they get stuck in negativity. That's where they get stuck. That's where they stay, and there's no way to pull them out of it, and no thoughts of violence that help them to move on, no matter how hard we think about hurting them. And on those days, there is nothing that their brother or sister could do that is ever good enough for the other sibling. Absolutely nothing. The whole day is with them spent getting offended over dumb stuff and then calling each other names. That's how the entire day is spent. They can't even sit next to each other without a fight breaking out over the dumbest thing. He touched me. She looked at me. That's why I touched her. He threw a straw paper at me and it hurt so bad. She deserved it. She is awful. That's what it's like. That's from the house to the church. That's not like a 5-hour drive. That's like between there and here. The adults in the car just want to jump out of the car and just roll down the road for a while, just kind of reset. But that's what society is like too. I mean, and that's what Facebook has turned into. Facebook is an example of a much deeper problem. If you go on Facebook, you will see post after post from people who are supporting political parties, people who are supporting particular lifestyle choices, scriptural interpretations. I mean, there's all kinds of topics that you will see on there. But what you will notice in common about all those topics is you won't see intelligent posts about why they support what they do. Here's my good reasons. Let's talk about this so that we can see if we might be able to change your mind. Let's have a discussion. That's not what those posts are about. Instead, you will see people getting offended over dumb stuff and calling each other names. You like that? Well, you're stupid. You're stupid. You're the stupid one. Look at you. You're the stupid one. Oh, gosh. I hate you. I hate you more. It's like that's all it is fighting back and forth. There's no dialogue between different opinions. None. There are people tossing random grenades over their imaginary line. Oh, we need to hit the people on the other side because they're so dumb over there. That's all it is. That's what it is. Post after post. No dialogue. And I think that is so sad. It is really sad because Paul put so much effort and so much time into becoming all things for all people. Trying to get closer to the people that he was lovingly attempting to share the most important part of his life with, the gospel message of God's love and Jesus' love. He wanted to be on their level and be able to have discussions by sharing in their camaraderie. But as Christians, we have fallen into the pattern of the world. And we don't even speak to, listen to, or try to understand the thoughts and or feelings of anybody that we disagree with. We don't want to hear what they have to say because we know ahead of time that they're wrong and have no right to say that. And if they want to have anything to do with us, or especially the church collectively, then they have to fix everything they have wrong in their life before I can tell them about Jesus. I mean, how backwards is this way of thinking? That if you're a different religion than I am, if you're a different political party than I am, if you live a different lifestyle, if you hold different values, if you're of a different race, then we don't want to have anything to do with it. We don't want to have anything to do with you. You aren't worth our time. And we don't put any effort into becoming all things to all people. We force them to become like us, or shout, get away, because you're stupid. That's what we do. And whether it's on Facebook or in our general lives, or even just in our thought patterns, that's what we do. And I told you, this is my motto. This is what I truly try to live by. But there was something that really spoke to me this week that kind of got this fire going. And I want you to watch this. I want you to share this with you. This one, hopefully you can see it.
So I want to talk about something that happened this weekend. I know it's Tuesday. Sometimes I like to ruminate on things all day Monday so that on Tuesday you hear about it. So this weekend I went to Dallas for the Cowboys game. And thanks. And it may not seem like a big deal for a celebrity to attend a football game, but I never leave my house, so it is a big deal. I go through the drive-thru at Wendy's, so I only have to see one person. I'm that kind of person. So there were 100,000 people in this stadium. Beautiful stadium, by the way, that Dallas has. So Portia and I were invited by Charlotte Jones. She's the daughter of Jerry Jones, who owns the Dallas Cowboys. And we went because we wanted to keep up with the Joneses. So anyway, so we get to sit in this very fancy suite because, you know, he owns the whole place. So his suite is fancy, and he's got fancy friends. And I don't mean fancy like Real Housewife fancy. I mean like fancy. Look, I took a video of who was next to me. Yeah, fancy. So that was Portia, and that was Charlotte Jones. Portia was talking to, and George W. Bush, and then in front of us was the tallest man in the world. And so I've got to say, when we were invited, I was aware that I was going to be surrounded with people from very different views and beliefs. And I'm not talking about politics. I was rooting for the Packers, and get this, everybody in the Cowboys suite was rooting for the Cowboys. And so I had to hide my cheese hat in Portia's purse. And don't get me wrong, I like the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. I love all the Village people, as a matter of fact. But Aaron Rodgers is a friend of mine. He's the quarterback for the Packers, and so I'm sitting in the Cowboys suite, the owner of the Cowboys, and secretly cheering every time the Packers scored, or every time another whistleblower came forward. And the referees, you guys, the referees. But during the game, they showed a shot of George and me laughing together, and so people were upset. They thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? Didn't even notice I'm holding the brand new iPhone 11. And, but a lot of people were mad, and they did what people do when they're mad. They tweet, and but here's one tweet that I loved. This person says, Ellen and George Bush together makes me have faith in America again. And exactly. Here's the thing. I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that that's okay, that we're all different. For instance, I wish people wouldn't wear fur. I don't like it, but I'm friends with people who wear fur. And I'm friends with people who are furry, as a matter of fact. I have friends who should tweeze more. And but just because I don't agree with someone on everything doesn't mean that I'm not going to be friends with them. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people that think the same way that you do. I mean be kind to everyone. Doesn't matter. Even people who are already playing Christmas music. I mean, seriously. There's no excuse for that, but I'm kind to them. Anyway, I want to thank Jerry Jones, Charlotte Jones for hosting us, and thanks President Bush and Laura for a Sunday afternoon that was so fun. By the way, you owe me $6 for the nachos. And
I found that refreshing to hear this week. And I find that on this type of issue, she's a smart lady. And I find that her words echo the truths that are found in the Bible. And does she agree with everything that I believe? No. Do I agree with everything she believes? No. But she feels like having a relationship is still worthwhile based upon the commonality that we have. She says, just because I don't agree with somebody doesn't mean I'm not going to be friends with them. She says, when I say be kind to one another, I don't only mean the people that think the same way you do. I mean, be kind to everyone. It doesn't matter. That's what Paul is talking about. Helen, she's a woman who Christians for so many years have been publicly criticizing, protest, and speaking against. But she gets it better than we did. She does. She understands that you don't have to have everything in common to be able to love somebody. She understands that without kindness, there's no chance for dialogue. Without dialogue, there's no chance for change. And the problem is that collectively, as Christians, we sit so high and mighty on our majestic horses, looking down on everyone else who is below us because they don't share our opinions. But sadly, we never take the time to just get down off of the horse and have a conversation and show people that we love them, even if we may not share every single belief that they share. Because nobody wants to hear a lecture from somebody sitting on top of a horse. But they will listen to the words of a friend. Listen, getting people into heaven should be every Christian's number one gold. Do you understand that? Everything else in life does not matter compared to the importance of sharing the love of Jesus Christ and helping them to understand salvation. Nothing else compares to that. That has to be number one. But that number one can only happen through love. That's the only time that we can actually accomplish that goal that we are set out to do. And that love only takes place when we stop spouting hate and disapproval. If you are saying or doing things, listen, it's important. If you're saying or doing things that in one way or another makes it difficult for people to hear the gospel from your lips, then you are not being all things to all people. You understand what I'm saying? If you are living a life, if you are giving an opinion, if you are saying something loud enough, whether it be on social media or in your own life, that causes people to say, well, I'm not, look at them. I'm not even talking to them. I'm not even listening to that. If that's what you're doing in order to try to get some people to believe in what you're doing, then you're going about it completely backwards. Folks, no one has ever criticized someone into heaven. That's not how it works. No one has ever verbally beaten someone into heaven. No one has ever hated someone into heaven. It doesn't work like that. And you can't hide behind the Bible and say that you're doing these things for God, because guess what? You can't hate for God. Especially when God says, love me and love everybody else around you. It's kind of the opposite of the greatest command. Can you have a loving, meaningful dialogue about sin? Yeah, absolutely. If you can, then you should. But it only comes after you show someone that you care. When you truly love them. After you have shown that you are not sitting on a high horse. After you have lessened yourself so that Christ might become greater. After you have become all things to all people. Don't let your shouting over an issue take away your chance to share the gospel. When life is said and done, and you stand before your loving Creator in heaven, what do you want to hear him say? What do you want to hear him say? Well done, my good and faithful servant. You were one great Republican or Democrat. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You were super good at hating Muslims or Mexicans. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You detested Donald Trump or Nancy Pelosi like the best of them. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You lectured everybody else about how right you were. Is that what you want to hear? You know what I want to hear? Well done, my good and faithful servant. You became all things to all people to win some. That's what I want to hear. So I just ask on this day that we would think about our own lives, the words that are coming out of our mouths or the words that are coming out on the screen. And let us stop being a hindrance to the gospel because of our shouting, and instead draw people to him because of our love. Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for today. We ask that you would truly help us, God. Help us to just be people who love. Love through our words, our actions, and let us put the gospel message before everything. May we lessen ourselves so that you might be greater. May we quiet ourselves so that your love might make it through. We pray this in